Hello everybody, so today I'm just going to show you a bit of housekeeping, and we're going to downgrade a virtual machine to save charges. Right size to save $14.68 per month. So when I created my Mickey VM in Europe West 2B, I allocated it E2-medium. Now if I just show you this, so within the compute engine, you go compute engine, then VM instances. If the buttons or the links on the side are overwhelming, you can just go in the search box here. You can always just type something like this, and hopefully the first result will be what you needed anyway. So yeah, there we go. So it takes a little bit of judgment and a little bit of familiarity, but ultimately you get there. So I'm on my Mickey VM, the one that we just saw. So if I go back to previous page, that should take us back, and it's not, but maybe I need to go to the dashboard. There we go. So save $15 or $29 a month. Let's look at, so the 29 is just telling you to shut it down. That's like saying save £100 a month, don't fill your car with petrol. Customize, so that's what we want now, I think, and let's just downgrade it. So E2, and it was telling us to go for 1 gigabyte of memory, wasn't it? I think. Consider switching to E2 small. Okay, E2 small. Oh, here we go. Yeah, E2 small. So you choose E2 from here. CPU platform selection based on availability. And then under the machine type, then you go to what they tell you here, which is E2 small, 2 vCPUs, 2 gigabyte of memory. In fact, let's just give it 1 gigabyte. This really is just for testing and experimenting with Python API. So has that taken effect? This instance has had low memory utilization. Yeah, that's what we already saw. So we don't want to restore. So I believe that's actually done it. So cancel that. And do we need to save it? I don't think so. So if we do refresh and then have a look at it, Mickey VM1, we should have a 1 GB of RAM, which let's just see if we can find that. OS info. Oh, it's stopped anyway, so let's go and start it up. And if we go back, I think already, probably if you're not familiar with doing admin stuff in a complicated GUI, you're probably already appreciating that. Then we go 3 dots, and then we go to start resume. You'll be billed for this instance while it is running. Are you sure you want to start instance Mickey VM? Yeah. You've got $300 of credit when you first sign up for Google Cloud Platform. And related actions, here you can see view billing report, monitor VMs, explore VMs, set up firewall rules, which is what we did in the previous video. While we're here, I just want to show we've got permissions, labels, and monitoring. Those two we won't worry about at the moment, but permissions, I just want to show you the owner. So the owner is what I'm logged in as here, and I'm the owner of the Mickey project. So your projects are here. So the project is at the very top of the sort of the pyramid. And the editor, here we've got compute at developer and same number at cloud services. And owner, editor, and the other common role is viewer. And then you get some custom bits and pieces. So if you go there, I don't think that helps us at all. So Next, the only other thing I wanted to do today, just as kind of a little bit of housekeeping before I go off and continue with more API stuff, which if you saw the previous video, you'll remember the Cloud Firewall Python code, and we'll be going back onto next. I think we'll look at how to create an instance. So what we're looking at here, next we'll look at how to create an instance using Python and the API, because doing all these clicks is a little bit boring. So what I've just been in and done this morning was I actually previously, when I typed Python, I was getting Python 2.7. So if you're familiar with how to do this on Linux normally, apologies to any Windows users. So the admin, the admin kind of console here is a Linux Ubuntu VM. So for any Windows users that aren't familiar, what you need to do is, I know it looks a little bit different to what you'd normally do on Windows, but Vim, so Vim is just basically the text editor. You could use Nano. Nano's the other common one. And tilde, which takes you to your home directory. In fact, let me make this bigger. This is something else I wanted to show you. So you might see a lot of tutorials with people doing stuff with Google Cloud Platform, and you might often think, well, that text is really small, I can't see it, especially if you're watching this on a phone or a tablet. So go to the cog, especially if you're somebody who's going to be doing tutorials, terminal preferences, and you can change the text size, color themes, and so on. So Vim tilde, so the tilde takes you to the home directory, and then that the / tells us to go to the directory that we're at, and then the dot tells us to go to a hidden file. The bashrc is actually a file, and it stores the settings for your profile, and if we go to that, you can see what I've just added. So I've just added alias. So if you need a helpful hint, if I press escape, that gets us into normal mode. And then if we do capital G, that takes us to the end. Do lowercase gg, takes us to the top. And then if I do J in Vim, that's like the down arrow. And you can see all of the settings, which you don't really need to change any of these unless you're very fussy. I don't know, entirely up to you. But if you want to change the prompt as well, you could come in here and edit the prompt. So you can make the prompt smaller just in case it's taken up too much of your line at the start. I'm going to leave that for now because you have the potential to break things if you get one character wrong. So here we go, aliases. So there were these aliases here already. So if you need any reference, what you do is you type alias. So if you imagine in Windows, it's kind of similar to shortcut, same concept, but it's like a shortcut but with text. So Python equals Python 3. So whenever I type Python, it's actually translating it through this file into Python 3, and the same with pip. So do Shift ZZ, which is a really good command for Vim. There's so much written about Vim with people saying, oh, they don't know how to exit, and then do colon, Q, exclamation mark, and all that. No need. Do Shift and ZZ, so much easier, and then it frees up your right hand to start typing on the next command or whatever. So once you've done that with Vim bashrc, Shift ZZ, and you'll need to do, if without restarting the machine, do source bashrc, and then unexpectedly I got this, which I would, on a normal Linux Ubuntu box, I'd be actually used to just seeing my standard prompt. So then I did exit, and then I went back in, so to activate Cloud Shell, and then when I went back in and tested it, Python, and then we see 3.73. So yeah, so the machine that you get to start with is as kind of your administrator machine for your Cloud Shell is very, very vanilla. So I'd strongly recommend you just change or set up an alias for Python, because you're going to be typing it so often that it's just less aggro. On every machine I work on, I just set that alias Python, so I never ever end up accidentally running Python 2.7 and getting errors, because it does happen. Right, good. So I'm just going to close the shell for now, and as you can see, Mickey is running, and I thought I downgraded that, so I'm just going to refresh, and okay, I'm still getting those. Still getting the, say, £15 a month. What's it going to tell me now? Oh, it didn't take effect. So, right, let's investigate that. There was me thinking it was all. Right, so what we're going to do is we want to stop Mickey VM. So you've got to stop it to change the memory. It's obviously saving its current state at the moment. And once it's, we'll configure all of this in this. So this video is kind of preparation for the next one. Building up some interest. And what we'll be doing in the next videos, we'll be doing what I'm doing here. We will attempt to do programmatically with Python. So next I want to, so that's stopped. Then we go into Mickey VM1, and then we have to click on operations. No, so let's go to edit. I think I needed to reset. That was what I didn't do. So just for belt and braces or sand and cement, we will. Got some messages there. Stop. Yeah, you get the messages. Right. So let's do this again. So we need to downgrade this. The recommendation was saying 2. So save. We forgot to save it. Right, so again, this is yet another good reason to automate stuff, because you don't want to be just sitting here waiting while the thing spins around. If you can automate it, once you've kind of got a nice script that you know works, then you can just run it and go off and do something more interesting instead. So, instance details. Everything is so nested with this. If you're relatively new to this, like I am, then yeah. The only other time I've used the GUI so much with F5 load balancers, which you tend to use the GUI a lot on there, but behind the scenes you've also got all the Linux commands anyway. Right, so if we start this, I just want to start this and just, there we go, the error message is gone. Good, right. And so just to wrap up, what we've done today is we've just observed some recommendations and acted upon them. A money-saving tip, which was to downgrade the amount of RAM that our VM was using. The other tip, obviously, is actually to stop your VM when it's not in use. Just going to refresh that, because I want to stop this now, but I don't think... is it still taking a while to catch up? Yeah, so there we go. If we go stop shuts down the instance. If the shutdown doesn't complete within 90 seconds, the instance is forced to halt. Do you want to stop? Yep. And yeah, so we've looked at saving some money. We've looked at the different types of roles. So you've got owner, editor, and the other one is viewer. So that's something else to kind of learn, make a note to learn more about. And yeah, we've downgraded it, we've stopped it, we've started it, and I've also shown you how to customize your bashrc file to give yourself some aliases for when you want to run Python. and the other one was a pip. So if I do pip, did that work? Pip Python 2 is deprecated. Oh, I don't know if that worked, so let's have a look. Pip 3. Oh, I get the same even if I type pip 3, so that's fine. It's not giving me a problem. So if we do pip install requests, old habits die hard. You probably wouldn't want to start web scraping on a Cloud Shell, but requirement already satisfied. So yeah, I think I ran that in the last video. Good, right, so yeah, so I've shown you how to reconfigure an instance, edit an instance, and I've shown you how to edit your terminal settings. And there we go, you change your font size, color themes. I've shown you how to edit bashrc. And the other thing, one quick class thing is tmax. So you've got multiple tabs, so you just keep clicking on tabs here. And then you can, if you've got a process that's open or running, you can open another one here, and then you can kind of view it. So there you go. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back with something more comprehensive next time. We'll be looking at actually how to create an instance using the Python API. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.